Graders, it's Mrs. Port. I'm going to talk to you one more time. I'm going to give you another lesson. This is on Step Up 9, which will be on Thursday, May 14th, day 39. So we're going to work on Step Up 9 today. This one is actually kind of just a review of all the different properties for addition and multiplication. So I'm going to share my screen so you know what the reteaching side looks like. And here we go. Okay, so we have Step Up 9 here on the reteaching side. We are talking about the properties of operations. So we are going to talk about commutative, associative, identity, and then the multiplication property of 0. Okay, but we are going to talk about those other three. We're going to talk about with multiplication and addition. Okay, so the commutative property of multiplication and addition just means that you can put the numbers in any order when you're multiplying or adding, and you'll still get the same answer. So as you can see, the example here says 10 plus 5 plus 3 equals 18, the same as 5 plus 3 plus 10. So I'm changing the order of those add-ins to get the same sum. And it doesn't matter for addition, those are always going to end up being the same. Your answer is going to be the same as long as your numbers are the same on either side. The next one says 7 times 5 equals 35, the same as 5 times 7 equals 35. So again, it doesn't matter which order you put those numbers in, you will get the same product. Okay. The next one is the associative property of addition and multiplication. And this means that you can group those numbers differently and you'll still get the same product or sum for the answer. So that means that you can do 2 plus, and first you can do 7 plus 6, and then add that 2 to them to get 15, or you could add 2 plus 7 and then add 6 to get 15. So this only works if every single operation between those are addition, or right down here, if every single operation between those are multiplication. And that's called the associative property. So you can group numbers in different orders, and you'll still get the same sum or product. You just change where the parentheses are, but you do have to make sure that every property in there is exactly the same. So it has to be multiplication down here, or it has to be addition. Okay. The last one that happens with both of them is our identity property. So this means that you can add 0 to any number and you'll always get the same number. So 17 plus 0 equals 17. You could do a million plus a million, or a million plus 0, it's still going to equal a million. You could do 1,421 plus 0 is still going to equal 1,421. And then the identity property of multiplication says any number times 1. So again, a million times 1 equals a million, 45 times 1 equals 45, 1,242 times 1 equals 1,242. No matter what you multiply by 1, it equals the same number. And then whatever you add 0 to is always going to be the same. The last one that we're going to talk about today is the multiplication property of 0. So that means that any number times 0 is always going to equal 0. So in this example, it says 12 times 0 equals 0. You could do a million times a million to get 0. You could do 1,242 times 0 to get 0. Okay, so let's scroll down. We're going to go down to these. We're going to work on a couple of them together. I'm going to work on number 1 with you guys, number 2, number 3. And then I think you should be okay for the rest of them. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. We are going to work on number 1 first, which said, number 1 says 9 times 14 equals 14 times blank. So this is going to be a certain property. What property would it be? This means you can change the order. We're not changing the grouping, we're just changing the order. So that means that we're going to use the commutative property. And we are going to multiply 9 times 14 is the same as saying 14 times 9. You don't even need to put the actual answer. You don't need to solve. You just need to put that 9 there, because this is showing that I'm taking these two numbers and I'm just flipping them to get these two numbers. And it's still going to be the same. So that's our commutative property of multiplication. Lots of writing there. Okay. Okay, number 2 on this one says blank times 99 equals 99. So this is going to be another property of multiplication because I've got the multiplication here, just like up here. And it's going to be what times 99 equals itself. And this is going to be our identity property of multiplication. Property of multiplication, because I know that it's going to be 1 times any number is going to equal that same number. Okay. The last one on here that I'm going to help you guys on is number 3 on that reteaching side. And this says, in parentheses, 3 plus 4. Oh, there's a plus sign, so that means I'm going to be working with an addition property. Plus 91 equals 3 plus something plus 91. Okay, so this right here tells me that I'm going to have an associative property because I'm working with different groups. So I'm going to have the associative property of, and I look at my operation here, which is addition. And this just means that I can group it differently. So I can do 3 plus 4 plus 91. I could also do 3 plus 4 plus 91. So I could do the 4 plus 91 first, or I could do the 3 plus 4 and then add them together, and it's still going to equal the same number. The rest of them you should understand pretty easily. This is a pretty simple one. This is also kind of just like a little bit of a review for you guys. I hope this helps. If you guys need any help with anything, you just let your teacher know. Bye.